Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. We are live. All right. We are live, live, live. Hello, 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 hello. Second. See. Okay. Well, there we are. Welcome in. Hello, welcome in. We have some good news for you today, and I think we are gonna love it, and we are gonna get it through to you today, and it's gonna be just it. Yeah, it's gonna be great, and hopefully you're gonna like it. So, let's get started here. We're starting off by reading quite a little bit amount of stuff here. Well, we're probably gonna get that going. Sorry, I'm just gonna change one last thing here. Okay, well, we're starting off with some Ukrainian advancement army news here. The Russian army has failed to take Andivika. Today, Shoki threw Wagner into the battle. In 3 weeks, the defenders of Andivika have destroyed most of the infantry and equipment of the 114th and 15th and 21st and 30th Motorized Rifle Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces that were storming north of Andivika. Since the beginning of the offensive on October 1st, the Russians have managed to advance up to 1.5 kilometers in 24 days. Last night, they planted a flag on the spoil head of a coke plant. That is, they did not even occupy the spoil tip, but planted a flag and fled. The enemy cannot occupy the spoil heap because it's being targeted by our firepower. Obviously, the command of the 104th Brigade, 114th Brigade wants to show some kind of PR success to cover up the failure of their offensive because the Russian army failed to break through the defense of Ukrainian forces and reach Stebovo Berdishki, I think it is. The reserves of the First Corps of the Russian Armed Forces suffered heavy losses, and so the Russian command today sent Wagner PMC units to storm Andivika. Wagner PMC is back in the fight in Andivika, that is also near the area of Bakhmut, so pretty much back in action. On this occasion, Wagner was granted an amnesty despite the immunity because the enemy has no other reserve to storm Andivika. The Russian army is tied up in fighting along the entire front. These are the trophies from the first group of Vagantiers who attacked the position of the 110th Mechanized Brigade, and the group was completely destroyed. Shoki and Kerushmiov are throwing Wagner into the battle to get an excuse for why Andivika was not taken by the regular army and to shift the responsibility for the failure of the offenses not to the troops of the defense ministry, but to the structure of Prigozhin, who was destroyed by Shokin's order. Yeah. For the Russian leadership, the Battle of Andivika turned not only into a commercial military operation, but also into a political intricate and matter of prestige for the Russian Defense Ministry. We actually have the video of that flag that they put up. Now I have a funny video next to it as well, and I want to show you that. But here you have it. So this is the flag they put up near a coal plant. You see the red flag, and that describes their company, and then of course the Russian flag underneath. Thank you to Slava on Twitter. Thank you so much. Great news coming out from there. However, the Ukrainian drone burned a Russian flag. Did it now? And yes, it did. It in fact though did burn a Russian flag. Here you have it. Check it out. So that was the flag that they had planted at that Coke plant. Coca-Cola, by the way. But here you have it. So they immediately planted it, and it wasn't in the occupied territory. There was no troops around there, but the Ukrainians decided, well, that's not going to be there. So they destroyed it, and it's burning now, and it's probably gone at this point. They planted it on a stick, and we appear to think that, well, it's completely fucking destroyed. Another success for the Ukrainians, another success for the Russians. It continues, and it goes on. Further news indicating that the Ukrainians are actually at the Dnipro River, have crossed it, is to the fact that a local resistant told the Ukrainian armed forces about a strange man who inexplicably ended up on the right bank of Kherson region. How he ended up there remains to be seen, but he was captured almost gladly, even though that was they were ready to jump into the Dnipro. He even put on a vest. They did not receive him by force. They even allowed him to send greetings. So, the reason why I'm saying it's proof is also because not only does it mean resistance forces are saying that in Kherson that somebody's actually swam across. It means that a resistance group that are watched a man swim from the left bank to the right bank, which means there are people in the left bank watching were even there, right? So he put on this, what appears to be a life vest, a very old one, or whatever it is, military life vest. This is a Russian soldier right here, very likely. Missing his teeth, completely out of it, but look at that. This is the state of the Russian army. State of pretty much any Russian, right?
Какой страны? Russia. Все понятно.
I don't speak Ukrainian, but I can tell you what he said. Russia sucks. We have other news here today, as well as we had news about Russian losses that took place today. 295,000, so 810 troops, 16 APVs, 28 vehicles and fuel tanks, 12 tanks, 24 artillery system, 18 UAVs, 3 MRS, 1 cruise missile, 1 anti-aircraft warfare, and 8 special equipment. It has just been reported that there has officially been 1,000 special equipment destroyed. Now, these special equipment, they cost millions of dollars, and millions of rubles, millions of dollars, whatever you put it. But these things, they cost a lot of money, and therefore, we thought it was quite interesting. I thought it was very, very interesting, the fact that, well, they've reached 1,000. It means it's a lot of money for the Russians to replace. And special equipment, like the things we saw yesterday of that radar tower, that is special equipment. And those things are the hardest to replace. I've talked about it before, and I say to you again, because the equipment, the things that they need for that stuff, it's really hard to come by in Russia at this point. So it's good to see an 8 special equipment, which actually I would say is kind of a record, because usually they don't destroy that much, but they did today. I think we saw one get destroyed on video yesterday. But yeah, the woman at the front line shares her pain. This is also the reality in Ukraine. People are dying. Maybe and probably we don't talk enough about this reality. Look about this. So, this is a video that came out from the Ukrainian front. There's been a lot of focus on the fact that around Avdiivka and around Bakhmut, there has been extreme amounts of, death casualties. Not only on one side, the Russians have definitely taken the lead in the amount of casualties they have. I mean, the amount of casualties the Russians have taken is, surmountable. We're talking 10,000 Russian soldiers without the last weeks here, maybe more. But the Ukrainians, of course, the reality for them is also quite the same here. You have this woman right here who talk about it, so watch this.
Не думала, що коли-небудь буде цей момент, що я буду записувати такі відео, але я ненавиджу цю війну. Ненавиджу. За декілька годин ми втратили стільки побратимів. За 4 місяці я стільки не втрачала. Будьте прокляті всі, хто до цього має суть.
Yeah, I don't know if it was acting or what it was. My personal opinion, suck it up. But, uh, you know, whatever it was, whatever her point was, is not untrue. I mean, the point is, things happen, right? And we can't discount that. Things are happening, and we simply fuck. Where's it? What? That affected that? Okay. I didn't even see that coming. Okay. Moving on here. Repelling the assault of the Russian invaders with the support of equipment south of the village of Pervomashki, Donetsk region. Here you have it. It's gonna hurt. Boom, that's one right. I mean, they're killing it off. These are videos that are coming out throughout the last areas there, and this is in Donetsk region, areas around Andrivka. This is how it looks like when they rush across those borders there and trying to rush across, you know, trying to get towards the Ukrainians. This is Russian soldiers trying to get towards the Ukrainians. This is how it looks like when they storm those trenches around. That right there is the reality of the Russian storming. Sorry, I was just checking something out here. 1 second. Uh, I don't know, Ocean. Look him in, Ocean. I don't know where everyone's at. I don't know. I feel like I put it out. Checking through some things right now. 1 second. I don't know. Maybe I'm shadow banned. You guys know that part about where you're shadow banned, right? It's like, yeah. Don't fucking know. 1 second. I had to check something. Fucking God. It's been happening throughout the last few days here. It's so fucking annoying. YouTube, I don't get what's the point of of shadow banning people or doing stuff like that. What's the point of that? It's like, really. I mean, I don't get what the point is. Fuck it then. Tell you what, I'm gonna go on Rumble. I'm gonna try. I want to go on Rumble. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. We're going on Rumble. All right. Because I tell you, the reason why I'm doing that, because I'm just annoyed with YouTube, and it's endless copyright claims, and it's amazing YouTube is even a fucking company at this point, because there's no fucking point in the company anymore. They keep saying they want to earn money, they want to help everybody, but they're not doing shit. All they fucking do is help everybody not do shit. They're so fucking bullshit. That's what they are. I'll pay plans or for accounts. Yeah, but I have to get. And the funny, the thing about Rumble. Yeah, but the thing about Rumble is that you either have to have 5 subscribers or followers before you can go live, and I currently I have 0. And I don't like the way Rumble runs its company. It's really, really bad. The interface of Rumble itself is fucking sucks. Because to tell you what, I used to do those shows. To start, when I started out, I had like fucking 30 viewers. I was getting 30 viewers, and all of a sudden, because YouTube didn't agree with everything I was saying, all of a sudden, I get, yeah. They only care about the money, and that's what they really do. All the fucking time, It's fucking ridiculous. I used to get 30 views. Out of you out there. I get the guys seriously. I used to get 30 views. 30 viewers a time. That's what I used to get. All of a sudden, it just dropped out of the blue. Not even when the start of that was way before. That was the first time I got a fucking copyright ban. They just not a copyright, but a copyright, right? They said, "Oh, you're no longer gonna be receiving same amount of use. We're gonna copyright. We're gonna make sure that you do nothing. Yeah. So fuck YouTube. Fuck all of them. Tell you one day. Yeah. Tell you what. What's the fucking point of view here? Because the factor is, we don't fucking know if YouTube has pro-fucking-Palestine, pro-Hamas workers. What the fuck is their supervision? And what the fuck is it exactly that... on Twitter is run by a man who is pro-Russian, who is pro-Hamas, who goes on Twitter ranting about his own company being shit. So I want to point something fucking out here. YouTube is run by a fucking tyrant who doesn't supervise their employees, who are tyrants, and fucking the YouTube, the employees, right? The employees of YouTube. How do we know they're not pro-Hamas? How do we know they're not pro-Palestinian? How do we know they don't like my videos because they think it's fucking ridiculous? How do we know they don't just ban them out? Every video I did on Israel, every video on TikTok, every video on YouTube, not me, but for everybody, how do we know that they are not just fucking around with us? I don't know. YouTube hasn't really taken a side, and I believe the factor is that they're probably pro-Ukrainian or some bullshit like that. But everybody was going around saying, oh, TikTok, oh, YouTube has agreed with the rules of the EU. But what's the supervision? Because they say they've agreed to the rules, but what the fuck, you know? Who's watching The Watchmen? Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyways, we're just gonna move on. Because that's what we're gonna do now. We're just gonna move on. In a secret location in Ukraine, Kyiv region, Russian defectors are taking part in military exercises. The Serbian battalion is fighting on the side of Ukrainian and are made up of Russians. The battalion was set up by former Russian military intelligence officer. Yeah. It's a picture of it here. Some people are quick to point out sometimes that there are some Russians that look Asian. People are like, oh, that's not Russians. How fucking dumb are you? No, many Russians look Asian. Many Russians look European. That's true. You know, they have that Cossack kind of look to it. But many you Russians look Asian. And that's the reason why. Because Russia stretches. And they also look Middle Eastern. Many. And Russia stretches from Europe to Asia. I'm not calling you dumb. That was maybe an overstatement, but yeah. Ukraine. Oh, sorry. I got more. Trusting the world's attention is elsewhere. The Russian fascist invaders of Europe are conducting an offensive in the east of Ukraine. Today, the Rashish launched assaults in Kupiansk, Bakhmut, sorry, I was good. Andivikia, Marinka, Shakatask direction. Ukraine has made remarkable progress in halting Russian aggression in the Black Sea. Ukraine's a country with almost no major naval capabilities, has managed to push the Russian Black Sea Navy out of Sevastopol port in the temporarily occupied Crimea. So sorry, I was talking about that. Obviously, I that was the first thing that I put on my title today. And yes, it actually is true. Here is the official statement from Zelensky, who said that the Russian military fleet is no longer capable of operating in the Western Black Sea and is gradually retreating from Crimea. This is a historic achievement, Vladimir Zelensky said, president of Ukraine, during the second Parliament summit of the Crimean platform. He actually said this during the day of Crimean platform, and it's true. So I'm very happy about that. Ukraine will strike Russian Black Fleet in occupied Abkhazia. A lot of names right there. Ukraine isn't done with the Black Sea Fleet, and they're not done with any Russian fleet, in fact, though. So, yeah. There may still be ships roaming around in the Black Sea. However, I think the amount of them has been reduced to such a low number that Ukraine sees them as a non-threat anymore. Which is the main point I'm trying to make here, is that Russia is being reduced. The way that we're fighting with no boots on the ground. We're simply giving money to Ukraine. Russia's navy, military, soldiers, everything is being reduced to a shamble of what it used to be. And we're simply not having to put any men on the ground. It's a fucking win-win. So I don't know, all these guys that want to pull out of Ukraine, what do you want to do? You know, eventually, if Russia wants to invade us, that means we have to put men on the ground. And then you want to win. Then you say, we won that one. Yeah, okay, great. But at what cost, right? Now, I'm not saying that let's put Ukrainian soldiers and let's kill Ukrainian soldiers. That's ridiculous. But I am saying that without turning this into a major war, we could stop the Russians by helping them actually continue and helping Ukraine continue to push out the occupiers of the country. So, yeah. Russia's proxy report explosions in Sevastopol. Several explosions were heard in Sevastopol in occupied Crimea at around 3:35 a.m. local time, according to several Telegram channels. Explosions in Sevastopol in Crimea. Kherson left bank, high quality counter battery work from the CSU. So, more points out here, right? So this is the Kherson left bank, which people are still debating whether or not there is people in Kherson on the left bank. And I keep saying I think there is. And these are further proof that there is. The CSU, I think it's the Russian forces right there, they're firing near areas in the left bank of Kherson. We believe that because of the... Look at that, that was an explosion. And we also believe that it's possible that the Russians are bogging down a lot of numbers trying to keep off the Ukrainians, but the Ukrainians keep counter-battering them back. I love it. So, our soldiers are fighting for these hucks. Little nice video here for you to watch. I think you deserve this. Watch this. So. What a video. Love those videos. I really do. Russia does not want negotiation. Russia is conducting a communication campaign called negotiations. It will simply stop for a while and will train the mobilized forces, find additional weapons, and strengthen its positions. Mikhailui Podolaka. I think it was the guy who said it, but I don't know who that is. But it's true, the way they put it. You know, people, Elon Musk, again, being a fucking total, well, we can't say that, right, can we? But, asshole, again has pointed out his solutions to the Ukrainian war, because apparently a billionaire is allowed to voice every opinion he has without any repercussions, but as soon as the person who sits in, who's pretty much... no one who just wants to express their opinions, they're going to be put down and banned. So what's the point of Elon Musk being able to express his opinion on Twitter without being banned? Well, the point is he owns the company. Is that fair? No. But there you have it. That's the point of view from it. So yeah. God, I fucking hate Elon Musk. I'm never going to own a fucking Tesla. They're fucking shitty cars. They fucking are. We all know they are. People just like them because they're Elon Musk's car. Fucking ridiculous. The Ukrainian armed forces plan to turn winter into a weapon against the Russian Federation. New York Times said. They plan to attack command centers, ammunition depots, and supply lines behind Russian lines with missiles. If Russian troops are drawn into the defense of a wide front and their logistics are severely disrupted, and then they could literally get wet and freeze. Exactly. Ukraine is going to turn the winter into a hellish nightmare for the Russians. How do we know that? Well, I know that because, well, it's goddamn true. You know, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to turn winter into a hellish nightmare for the Russians. The reason why they're going to do that is because, well, Ukraine has proper equipment. It has equipment that is, you know, not only warm, but equipment that can tolerate the freezing conditions. Now, the Russians, they may have an AK-47 and can, in fact, tolerate most conditions. However, many of those AKs simply are old. And, while the AK is famous for surviving anything, it probably rarely can survive that harsh of a winter. Now, the way the world is looking right now, it's going to be a harsh winter. I 100% can tell you that right now. I think it's going to be a very harsh winter. It's you can feel it in Denmark, and you can feel it pretty much everywhere. It's getting cold. It's getting really cold. And I think for the Russians, you know, we're talking about diseases. We're talking about anything. You know, it's going to be a fucking mud fest. So, for anybody who's doubting if the Ukrainians are going to win in the winter, they may not push them out, but I believe that the force that's going to be left after the winter month are gonna be shambles. I mean, it's gonna be ridiculous. The winter month is definitely gonna be a hard time for the Russians, and we believe it. British volunteer in Ukraine. I want to show you this right here. So there's a British volunteer in Ukraine. I don't know if you've ever played. I don't know if you've ever played a game called Call of Duty, but there's a character in that's called Ghost.
We can have a lot of fun.
And there he is. That's Ghost right there. However, this man right here is a real soldier. SAS. He's SAS. Is he really? Is he really though? I don't know, but they say he was British volunteer. It's from a pretty trustable source. I don't think they'd put that if it wasn't. He's SAS, by the way, which is the Special Forces of Britain. That's why we can't see his face, but you know, he's a SAS or beast. So yeah, a little bit of a juicy news here. I want to put this out here for you. I should have put this at the title, but okay. Actually, we're gonna do that. See what happens, right? Russia is considering the option of striking Kyiv with a space rocket, Blit reported. The editors have access to recordings of Rogozhin conversations. The official agreed that it would be most optimal to launch a rocket from the Cosmodrome in Pelisistesk, something like that, with explosives on board. Rogozhin asked Baronov how long it will take him to prepare the operation. The later replies that about 6 months. According to Blit, the plan was presented to Putin on January 16th. It is unknown how he reacted to it. So, January 16th, you said it was going to take 6 months. How are we looking from January 16th to now? Well, that's pretty far from then, right? I mean, it's pretty far from now. January, that was, well, in the start, if you're talking about January 16th of, well, this year, like 2022, that's, sorry, not 2022, in 2023, if you're talking about January 2023 and you said 6 months, well, we're a bit overdue, aren't we? We're a bit overdue because if it's January, February, March, April. Sorry, it's because I'm English. I'm not English, so April, May, June, July, August, October. We're in August. September, October. Oh yeah, so we're about 3 months overdue. About 3 months overdue, by the way. It's unsure as to how Putin reacted to it. That could have been why it hasn't happened yet, but still something that apparently he says he's about to do, but I don't know. We don't know if they're going to do it, by the way. Don't know. Vladimir Nekrasov, chair of the board of the directors in Russian Lukoil, has died unexpectedly, Russian media reports. According to the Premier statesman, he died of acute heart failure. This is the third sudden death among Lukoil top manager in the past 18 months. The previous chair of board directors fell out of the hospital window on October 1st, 2022. In May of 2022, another top manager died after a scene with the local Shamash. I don't know what that is. Window T Novichok heart failure. So, yeah. So, 3 managers on the same company dies unexpectedly throughout this last year here, and throughout the last years here. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. Well, that's not simply true, is it? It's not true. Luki is one of Russia's largest oil companies, second in oil production in Russia. Here is his face. I believe so. There you go. That's him. Not an old man, up in the ages, certainly. I mean, I don't know, 50 maybe. But he's not in the age where I'd say heart failure is very common. You know, just saying. Putin's squad rise up against Halloween. Caution level of high level of cringe. Make sure you're watching the end as well. This is a video of some Russian squad. I think they're in Canada. I'm not sure as to where they are, but these are the Russian propagandist group right here, and well, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Это что такое? Мы, отряды Путина, категорически запрещаем Хэллоуин.
Forbid Halloween.
Давным-давно жили Киев. И они были язычниками. У них было всего два времени.
If you notice one thing, they're all old.
31 октября они отмечали приход зимы. И когда ирландцы привезли этот праздник в США, все обросло.
Pure fucking bullshit.
Отмечая Хэллоуин, вы делаете богаче чужого дядю или тетю. Думайте головой.
Я считаю, что Хэллоуин это полнейшая безрассудица. Я, как истинный патриот своей родины, считаю, что у нас предостаточно наших российских праздников.
Мы против американских праздников. У нас предостаточно своих праздников, и у нас их еще будет больше.
Я как христианка, я считаю, это не по-христиански праздник. У нас своих достаточно праздников. Я против.
Well, you're not Christian, are you? You're not. If you're a true patriot, you're part of the Orthodox Church, which is Christian, but it's not directly Christian, is it?
Это не наш праздник.
Я против этого праздника. Он чужд для нашего разумения. Я не знаю этих праздников.
So they've gone so far to now as their last stitches attempts to do anything remotely. You know, what a beautiful picture right there. To do anything remotely propagandists. Here's what they do. They simply go on there and they say they want to cancel Halloween because, well, it doesn't fit into the Russian image.
Наши праздники прекрасные, и нам чужие не нужны.
Нет этой чертовщине. Это не праздник для нас.
Американские праздники нам не нужны. Мы хотим своих, российских.
Никакого Хэллоуина!
What the fuck? What even is that? What the fuck even is that? That's ridiculous. Notice that about 2 weeks ago when you started covering Israel, your worship problem started. Yeah, that's what I've been saying, Ocean. Everyone, when I was watching, and when I was covering Ukraine, I had views, right? As soon as I start covering a little bit on Israel, and I came out with one statement, I said I'm pro-Israelian, and then everybody, and then on YouTube, all of a sudden, started to ban my videos, started to take them down, started to say I was misinforming everyone, started to say I was showing dangerous things, started to find every single reason to why they could, you know, take my videos down, take everything down. And every other video on YouTube that says I'm pro-Hamas or I'm pro-Palestinian, all of those videos came to the front of YouTube. But you don't see my one coming to the front of the YouTube, do you? Well, no, they don't have the views for it, sure, but it's what, at the same time, come on, you know? I mean, I'm just pointing it out. It's clear to me that YouTube has become an organization that simply doesn't have any oversight on the people that actually, you know, monitor the videos. So as soon as I cover Ukraine, they get nothing. So it's clear they want me to just stick to Ukraine. And, well, yeah. Putin raises concerns of catastrophic deterioration in Gaza with Erdogan. Wow. Today, the Kremlin effectively confirmed that when Putin dies, Russia's forces in Ukraine will be thrown into chaos. With rumors yesterday, Putin fell over in his bedroom, tripped over his own ego. Yeah, that's true. And was knocked unconscious. Today, the Kremlin in full Putin's not dead mode. First came the Kremlin denial that he's not dead and doesn't use body doubles. It's funny thing. The factor is that Putin and Kremlin needed to confirm to everyone that they weren't using body doubles. You know, it's kind of like me saying, I didn't fall because I don't use double. Sorry, it's kind of like me saying I didn't fall because I don't use body doubles. Why do you need to bring up, you know, that? It doesn't correlate anything. Then they put out a couple of bland, wooden-looking photos, and well, yeah. I actually have a really great picture that came with the thing right here. I don't know. I was taking a look at it, and I just thought, that's really interesting, isn't it? I mean, I just love that image right there. It's just an amazing image. I wish I could just leave it up there. You know. It's still unconfirmed. I actually will say it's still until I see Putin walking. Probably. I can't tell you if he did in fact fall over. The reason why I can't tell you that because I want to see the next time I want to see how conscious he is. I want to see how he's walking. I want to see how he's doing. I don't think he's dead. However, I would like to see how his body movements are, if you get what I'm saying. There was an explosion in Rostov-on-Don, Russia, the local governor said. That's not going to turn out to that. He hasn't actually... The funny thing about Putin is that he usually appears on camera at least once a day, and it's not even a joke. And throughout the last days here, he hasn't actually appeared on any cameras, so... That's the explosion right there. It's happening in Russia. Big explosion took place in Russia today. There you have it. Ukraine weapons news and videos. An M109 Paladin made in USA used in Ukraine. Made in the USA. I was born in the US, and then we say it's made in the... There you have it. Oh, yeah. %. What do you mean? Like to Ukraine? I have not heard about that. However, one thing I did hear is that I did hear the Prime Minister of Ukraine say that Ukraine actually has shortages of ammunition. And it's a worldwide shortages, but it also means that Ukraine not only has shortages of ammunition. I don't know if it's because of the lack of funding, but apparently there now has been a lack of ammunition occurring. So yeah, that's what I heard at least. Means I think we cut spending in some ways. Yeah. I mean, I think we cut spending in some ways because we realized that Ukraine, with the amounts that they have now, are still winning. But I don't know if I think the anti-Ukrainian sort of movement that Putin has been currying and has been infiltrated into the European Union, and I'm not sitting here saying we know it's happening. I believe that Putin has friends, and he's actually conducted some kind of campaign called the anti-Ukraine campaign, and it's actually launched itself directly into Europe, and is very likely continuing in Europe. Look at Germany. Look at Hungary. We love to see it. We love to see it. There has been there's a little bit of a jumping in news here. I want to give it to you. There's been a bird flu detected in Antarctica region for the first time. A bird flu between the local whatever. The penguins, right? That's what I remember the name of it, but yeah. Yeah. Goddamn. You know what? I don't want to do this. It's too ridiculous. You know what? We'll figure out a way. I'll try and get myself on Rumble. I think I don't want to be on YouTube anymore. It's ridiculous. I put some effort into the factor that I actually do these news right here, and I think to myself, I at least try and keep it clean, try and keep it good, and you know, not even that is allowed on YouTube anymore. So I'm not gonna do it. So I'm not doing YouTube anymore. That's fine. I don't think I want to do it anymore. I think we're jumping on Rumble. Sorry about that, but yeah. No, I'm definitely want to jump on Rumble, and we're gonna do that. But first, thank you so much for being here. This won't be the end of me on YouTube. Don't worry. I think the streams is gonna be on Rumble, and then I'm gonna upload videos on YouTube. Try and keep the two things separate. If I ever upload any videos, if I ever do, but yeah. It's just, yeah, you go follow me on Twitter, because I'll certainly make a announcement on that one. We just have to get 5 followers, and then we can go live on Rumble. So I think, you know, that's probably gonna be pretty easy to do. I'm sure we can get that done. So yeah. Have a good night, and I'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry. I'm not quitting. I just don't want to be YouTube anymore because this is ridiculous. Yeah.